Hey, this is Tristan from Mahalo, and we are at the Hip Cook's Kitchen in West Los Angeles, and today we're going to bake some chocolate chip cookies. We've had many requests for baking, so I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm a professional chef, but baking, that's something that's a little newer to me. But chocolate chip cookies, I can handle. Okay, so I take a shortcut, and that is mixing all the wet ingredients and then adding dry ingredients. And that's so we don't have to dirty as many dishes. So watch me as I move along. 2 cubes of butter. Each cube is a half a cup, and we need 1 cup butter. Unsalted butter is a better choice because we'll salt later. Okay. 1/2 cup white sugar. And 1 cup brown sugar. Brown sugar is just white sugar with a little added molasses. You can either use light brown sugar or dark brown sugar. It's your choice. Okay, and let's get this stirred up and creamed, as we call it, together. So break up that butter. So if you're low on brown sugar and you only have white sugar, you can make cookies with just white. Though we call this baking, cookies are pretty lenient. They're not picky, they're not going to flop. They might turn out differently every time if you're using different amounts of ingredients, duh, but they'll be just as good. If you have a hand mixer, feel free to use a hand mixer. If you have a food processor, you can use that as well. I like to mix by hand, works my muscles. But definitely make sure that your butter is room temperature. That will make things easier for mixing. And also make sure that your eggs are room temperature. Anytime you're baking, anytime you're cooking actually, it's always best to have your ingredients at room temperature. Okay. So that's nice and creamed. It's not light and fluffy, but that's not what we're going for. We just want those to be creamed together. Alrighty. Two eggs. I crack my eggs in a separate bowl just so I don't get any shells in the dish that I'm putting the eggs into. You want to mix those in one at a time. I'm not a baker, Scout. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I guess it just makes it easier to mix. I don't know the science behind it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Adding your eggs one at a time makes it easier to mix instead of throwing the both in. Throwing eggs on top of butter and sugar tends to make for a slimy mixture. So one at a time decreases that amount of sliminess and does really make it easier to mix. Okay, second egg. Okay, so mixing in the second egg. See, it gets easier. This is 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, all the wet ingredients are mixed in. Now, I'm just gonna dump in the dry ingredients. We don't need to take that extra step of mixing them all in a separate bowl. It's no big deal. 2 cups of flour. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a half a teaspoon of salt. Actually, a pinch of salt. Pinch of salt. Chocolate and salt are good, so if you want a saltier cookie, add more salt. Okay. Gently mix that in. If you get going at it really fast, flour will go all over. So gently incorporate that flour in with the dough. Okay. 1 cup chocolate chips. Oh, this part? Okay. What do you mean, Scout? Okay. 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 I offered the crew walnuts in their cookies. They said I was crazy. So it's just gonna be chocolate chips. So 1 cup chocolate chips. And a little orange zest. If you like chocolate and orange, this is up your alley. Kind of holiday-ish. Smells like the holidays. Okay, mix that up. I have my cookie sheet here. I've used parchment paper. If you have parchment paper, awesome. That will just ensure that they don't stick. If you have non-stick cookie sheets, then you don't need that. Or if you have a Silpat, that's something you can use as well. I've got the oven on at 375. And they'll go in, I would start checking them about 8 minutes. Really, the best clue to baked cookies is that you'll be able to smell them. So check them around 8 minutes, and if you like them nice and crispy, then you'll cook them longer. If you want them soft, you'll pull them out. We'll check in 8 minutes. All right, so these cookies are nice and golden, and we can tell that they're going to be a little crunchy around the outside because it's a little browner, and then softer in the middle. I ended up with some giant cookies. If you want precision, then you can buy one of those melon scoopers or cookie scoopers. I don't mind this. You can just cut them with a spatula or eat one big one. So before I take them off the tray, I'll let them sit for a couple minutes and then put them on a cooling rack to cool. And that's chocolate chip cookies. If there are any other dishes you'd like to see me prepare, please send an email to request@mahalodotcom. And in the meantime, check out our other videos.